Hello, good evening, and welcome to our fifth chat in the Fireside chat series entitled Gap Analysis, Prioritization, and Milestones. I'm Dr. KD Ewulu, Executive Coach and author of the leadership book, Big Dreams, Making It Happen for Organizations and Teams. Thanks for joining me for this 10 to 12-minute chat. And as always, if you're not able to join us live, thanks for watching a replay of the presentation. Today, we're going to go into a little bit more detail on how to perform a gap analysis, as this naturally dovetails into the concepts and practice of prioritization and creating milestones. So let's begin with how to perform a gap analysis. A gap analysis is a tactical and strategic plan that helps us respond adequately to current and future needs. As described in Fireside chat number 3, gap analysis focus on detailed plans of action that will improve current status quos. They start from our objectives to our current position or situation, and then, of course, on to intermediate goals, which we need to achieve, which could include education, training, money, and position. And then on to actions we need to complete to reach each of those intermediate goals. The priority levels, which I mean by ranking of each of these actions, the deadlines, by which I mean calendar dates for achieving each goal, and then, of course, the final objective. I'll be showing you a gap analysis. I'll be showing you what a gap analysis matrix looks like now. All right, and I'm going to just be sharing a little bit from that matrix, just to share with you going forward. Now, if you look at this matrix right here, you're going to see that the first line on the left there shows objectives. The first 3 headings there are in black font. And in a gap analysis, you have 6 different phases. The first 3, the main objectives, which is the objective at the very end, and that could include maybe your goals are to become a chief information officer, and then maybe later a VP, and then maybe later a senior VP. Maybe those are your long-term goals. Well, to be a CIO, which is a chief information officer, that's your goal. You've got to ask yourself, where am I now? What's my current situation? That means, what do I now have? And that could be in dollars, in position, and in education. So for instance, let's say you're earning $100,000 right now, and you're hoping to be a CIO in the future. Maybe you're currently an SIO, which is more like a senior information officer, and you have just a bachelor's degree in information technology. You've had that for 15 years, and you're looking to climb up the ladder. What are your future needs? Of course, everybody wants to get promoted, and that means there's got to be a money component to that. So your future needs include the money, and then, of course, the CIO position you're looking at, which later on can boil down to the VP position, and maybe a few years further down the line, the senior vice president position. But let's just look at the CIO position right now, okay? The second row we're looking at now is the CIO position. What are your action plans? As you can see, the next 3 headings are in red. Those are the headings that you're going to require help with, okay? A coach, a mentor, or somebody who's going to work with you and you can be accountable to. Having said that, basically for you to get to the CIO position, you need more education, right? You've got a bachelor's. You probably might be going for a master's degree. You're probably going to, a few years down the line, a professional certification in your field of endeavor. Okay, so I'm going to rank that priority level 1. That's the first set of goals you have to achieve over the next 2 years or so. And that's why, as you can see on the deadlines here, I put July 2026, which is 2 years and a little ahead. Now, once you've achieved that, your next goal is the VP. Okay, and of course, being the VP of a big organization requires that you get a little more education. A master's degree won't cut it. All right, let's say you're going to go for a doctorate degree in business administration, and you're looking for a higher professional certification. Those are the action plans, the commitment you have to make in order to have a hope and a chance of getting the VP position. this becomes your priority number 2, which is B. And as you can see from the dates there, I have September 2030 there. That means 4 years after you achieve your CIO position, you're ripe for the VP position. Of course, you must have gotten your education in place. Once you've got that, the longer term or the longest term plan you have is to finally achieve the senior vice president position. And again, your action plans will now not just be educational, but involve networking in your profession. You might need to become an officer of a regional or national professional body to get that done. All right? And that is priority number 3, which is a C. And as you can see, I'm putting another 2 years on the date that you achieve your VP position. So we're looking at 2032. So look at the calendar dates there. July 2026 to achieve the CIO, September 2030 to achieve the VP, and then of course, December 2032 to achieve the SVP position. All right, now that I've shared all this with you, let me just go forward now and explain in more detail what these are. Remember that every quest originates somewhere and will terminate somewhere else. A starting point and an ending point. The starting point is our current position or situation. In essence, where we are currently and what we have at the present. Our ending point is our destination, our end goal or our final objective. I'm going to assume that in whatever situation we currently find ourselves in, we have the answers to both of these questions, where we are now and where we want to be in the future. Now we go into the arena of your intermediate goals, our immediate future goals. These are our midpoint or intermediate goals that divide up our journey from start to finish into several shorter journeys. Doing this exercise successfully ensures we have points along the way where we could rest a bit, review our progress, realign our efforts, that is if we derailed a little bit, and celebrate any small wins or victories we might have attained. Having said that, these small chunks of work eventually help us develop our milestones, which I'm going to be talking about in a bit. These first 3 portions of the gap analysis can be performed on our own. The next 3 portions might require guidance, as I said earlier, from a coach or accountability partner. These 3 deliverables in the gap analysis sheet, which might require the services of a coach, are the action plans, the ranking of the plans, and the calendar dates for actualizing each action plan. Our action plans are derived from the 3rd deliverable gap analysis matrix, which is our intermediate future needs that allow us to attain small wins. For instance, if our intermediate future need is to obtain an advanced degree or professional certification, then our action plan could be to enroll in a specifically named master's or doctoral degree program, or to obtain a specified professional certification in our chosen field of endeavor. Other action plans could include personal, professional, or social short-term goals. Now, once our action plans are thoroughly specified, it is time to rank them in order of preference to ensure efficient execution. This is called prioritization, and it's based on the premise that we have many courses of action, and to be successful, we have to accomplish them one at a time. Our prioritization process involves ranking our planned actions in order of preference to enable effective and timely execution. Understanding which action plans to execute means first we have to leverage any of the several prioritization instruments that exist out there. I'm going to briefly touch on 2 types of prioritization methods, the deadline payoff method and the importance time method. The method we opt to use is entirely up to us, okay? And depends on what type and what granularity of information is available to us at that point in time. The deadline payoff prioritization method works on the premise that to achieve great things, we must invest more time, effort, or resources. Now, I often use this example to explain this prioritization method. If you invest $100,000 at 10% interest for 1 year into a fixed deposit, certificate of deposit, or whatever, it's a better option for you to take than to invest the same 100,000 at the same 10% interest rate, but this time for 1 month. The first option that touts a 1-year investment will yield us, if you do our math right, about $100,000, while the second option, which touts only a 1-month investment, will yield us only about $833. So the first option gives us $10,000. The second option gives us $833. Most of us, of course, are going to prefer the first option to the second option, simply because though it requires more time and effort, it will yield us more dividends, more return on our investment, which we all call ROI. The importance time prioritization method works on the premise that if we can rank our proposed actions based on which is more important and more urgent, and then we can easily perform the more important and urgent tasks before we undertake the less important and not so urgent tasks. In the business management world, this prioritization method is called Covey's management grade, or the Eisenhower matrix. Now that we've successfully identified our main objective, broken it down into easily achievable sections or portions, added on the tasks that we must perform to achieve the primary objective, ranked them in order of effort, importance, and urgency, we now approach the final task. Add the time element, ascribing calendar dates to each of the ranked or prioritized tasks. This process is simply called creating milestones. Please be mindful that execution plans that do not include duration periods can be classified as wishful thinking, mere dreams. Okay? We go further to ensure our commitment to completing our intermediate tasks as planned by basically including calendar dates to each activity and not just duration periods. Adding calendar dates makes us accountable to our various stakeholders, as any day we do nothing towards achieving these goals makes us one less day away from the deadline. So, do not be afraid to dream big dreams, my friends, because as you can see, there are many ways to achieve our objectives, no matter how lofty, complex, time-consuming, expensive, or daunting they may be. So, I'll leave you with this saying: if you can dream it, you can do it. Let me say that again. If you can dream it, you can do it. Now, that's all I have for us today, folks. Remember to join me in 2 weeks' time on this same platform as we're going to review another critical lesson in the book, Big Dreams, Making It Happen for Organizations and Teams. In our next broadcast on Monday, April 1st, 2024, entitled Executing Our Corporate Strategies, we're going to delve into the realm of executing our dreams. We're going to look at proven ways to bring our plans to fruition. We call them DIRT, rolling wave planning, and general rules governing negotiations with bosses, clients, vendors, and stakeholders. So, what am I asking us to do now? I'm going to be asking us to prepare. Get prepared for broadcast number 6 by grabbing a copy of my book. As you can see on your screen there, the QR code on the screen. And of course, there's one on the background to the left of the screen. It's going to take you to the links below. Whether you go through the QR code or you just go onto those links, the first link there takes you to the paperback of the book, okay? And the next link there takes you to the ebook version of the book, all right? The QR code, once you scan that right now, or you might have scanned it as we went on all throughout the program, of course, that will lead you again to Amazon, where you can download a copy of the book. All right, now that I've shared that with you, you can also connect with me on LinkedIn to receive notifications about these fireside chats, okay? We have about 8 more of them scheduled every other Monday until sometime in June 2024. So here's me wishing you a focused, successful, and satisfying 2 weeks. And I want to see you again at our 6th broadcast on Monday, April 1st, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. This is Dr. KD Ewulu. I'm rooting for you as you dream big, as you plan meticulously, and as you execute courageously. Cheers, and take care of yourself. Bye for now.